Hello everybody, today we're going to be taking a look at the new for 2024, I know it's 2025 now, but the new for 2024 Tomica Limited Vintage Subaru Forester first gens. Oh yeah, they're gorgeous. I already have them opened up because I tried to do this video once, but it kept failing. Just storage issues and camera cut off and all this stupid stuff. But it worked out because now I have the Hot Wheels Forester to add to the Forester family reunion here. Check that out. Getting bigger. There's one more that I still don't have here if anybody knows what it is. It's actually, I don't know what brand it is. It's on AliExpress right now. Probably gonna, me and Diecast Car Guru have been thinking about getting them, so maybe you'll see one in a mail call from him soon. But they're like $8 and they're kind of chintzy. But for the fact of completing the Forester family tree, we kind of, well, not that it's going to complete it, though, because it's just a 5th generation pre-facelift, and Tomica has done it, and Matchbox has done it, and Subaru Promo has done it, so there's already 3 of them to exist. So it's not like it's a dire need, but in terms of the 1/64 scale Forester family, or sort of 1/64 scale Forester family, it is definitely necessary. But we're going to move these out of the way. We're going to take a look at the TLVs first, and then we will move on to the rest of them. Well, not that I'm going to review the rest of them because I've reviewed most of them already. But we'll park them up in generational order. But these are the first gens where it all started back in 1997. And both of these are 97 model years. But they're both different castings. This one here is a non-turbo, while the black one is a turbo. So we'll take a look at the differences there. We'll start with the non-turbo in blue metallic with the silver two-tone. This one has steel rims too. I believe these are the Steelies. They were all black in America. Well, yeah, I think they were all just black wheels. The steel wheels were in the US. I don't remember seeing chrome steel wheels, but I could be thinking of the wrong vehicle. Because normally they're all rusted. Normally the black paint's like flaking off. But you do get clear headlights, which is a slight difference from the North American versions because they had amber on the ends there. You got the Forester emblem on the front there, which North America never saw, and they had even a different grille mesh as well. And actually, they didn't have color matched trim around the grille at all. It was just silver with the Subaru logo in the front instead of the F Forester badge, which was a Asian only thing that America never saw, or the rest of the world. Well, Europe might have saw it on the first-gen turbos, but I don't think the regulars. This one does have fog lights. They're painted. The bumpers are actually metal on this one. I expected them to be plastic, but they are metal. The lift gate is plastic, though. It's a separate plastic piece. That is a normal thing with Tomica wagons and vans for the lift gates to be plastic pieces. Tail lights, I don't know if they are part of the lift gate or if they're their own separate piece, but they are nice, clear, with the red trim in the middle there. Well, not the trim, but the tint. Forester across the back, and then Subaru C20 on the bottom left of the gate. The right side has the lock. The exhaust and tip are a plastic insert on the base. The base is metal, and everything else is nicely detailed, but no other plastic bits like some of the other SUVs. You got your lock on the front door, black door handles, black mirrors, everything's super basic. Black steering wheel, gray dashboard, and like a whitish gray interior. So I like the 3-tone that they got going on there in terms of the different plastic brakes. Looks very good. Well, actually, is the steering wheel black? No, I think it's just part of the dash. Never mind. It's just gray. Though I think, no, it would have been color matched the dash. Wipers are painted on the cowl there, and the rear wiper is painted on as well. It kind of blends in with the rest of the liftgate trim. Roof rails are plastic separate pieces. It'd be cool if they make some crossbars for it. I'd love that. Got some dust collecting on here. Of course, there is the 2-tone. Is the cladding here is painted a metallic blue, or no, the car is metallic blue. The cladding is a metallic silver. And this is a great TLV casting with suspension. Now they do offer a spoiler that you can put on there, which I probably won't be doing. at least to these. I do have an extra blue Forester, which was listed as damaged, and I got it for like half the price. So I'm like, well, I'll do a custom out of it, but I'm waiting to see. I think it was just the box that was damaged, by the way, because the car was fine. I'm waiting to see kind of what color they do next, because whatever I do, they will release it the day after. I guarantee it. So that's why I'm holding out. If I can wait to see what they're gonna paint it next, I have another good year before they copy me. There's your non-turbo. Let's take a look at the turbo version. Just a Sonata driving around the circle. Turbo version in black. So this is actually a replica of the stock photos, or not stock photo. This one's a replica of like the stock photo of the Forester, kind of like the debut photo. This one is an advert replica. So it featured the car with New York City skyline in the back, which I think, well, no, I think it was, yeah, it was in front of like a bunch of New York landmarks. It was definitely photoshopped together. I don't think it was actually in New York, and it had New York plates on it, which I find very funny because we never got the turbo first gens in the US. It'd make more sense if it was a non-turbo, but even then, the front end's different. So, yeah, so it's funny. We never got these in the US. Europe did, and Australia did, but the United States never got the turbo first gens. We didn't get the turbos until the second generation came out. And this is not an STI either. The STI models were exclusive to Japan, and they were one of 900 produced, so pretty rare Foresters. Would love the TLV to do the STI. The body kit would probably have to be plastic glued on to the bottom here, which I'm not sure if they could do because they do have an aero kit like the Hot Wheels second gen does, but of course it's all metal, unless TLV tooled another tooling for it. But I mean, they could add the spoiler easy, or make you add the spoiler. But here's the Turbo Forester. So now, first of all, you can see this one has better looking rims, and they are definitely alloys compared to these. And also, now that looking at the artwork, I do think that this Gen Forester had the silver steel wheels in America. Which is funny because this one being two-tone, but also being a base model, is kind of weird because normally you think of the higher trim levels to be two-tone, like luxury vehicles. Two-tone, but to Subaru, not really. And the other cool thing about these is there isn't a single Subaru emblem on them, which I love. They don't look, you could tell that Forester was treated as kind of a flagship car, and so was the Impreza back then, which is weird because it kind of flopped onto the Legacy afterwards to be the flagship vehicle. But even then, it still had the emblems. But the Forester and the Impreza, back when they were first new, never had the Subaru emblems. The Forester had its own emblem, and the Legacy had its own emblem, which was in the shape of the Subaru, or not the Legacy, the Impreza, which was in the shape of the Subaru logo, but it had an eye instead of the stars. And it was pink for the STI models. You got your fog lights down below here, which are actually a little different than what you get on the base model. The base model is just, well, actually no, that might be chrome trim, I thought, because the bumper is silver, it just blends in. So these do have chrome trim, and then the silver light. Well, no, not really, because this is all silver. These fogs are white. And of course the trim's left alone, but this one, the whole thing's painted silver. So it's a little different. I think they just did that because of the silver trim to make it stand out. Still got the same headlights, clear headlights. No differences there. And the same grille too, which I think is a separate plastic piece, which is cool. There's your hood scoop, which is metal, part of the body, which is how I know it's a different casting. This one still gets the black plastic mirrors, which is weird. They're not painted, which I wouldn't expect that to be, but the handles also look like they're flat black as well. This being the higher trim level, it's kind of weird. It's got a full black interior, and then the pinstripe down the side with the orange marker light. Taillights are about the same. It's got the different emblem on the back here, the STB. Exhaust is the same, and I'm pretty sure the rest of the body is the same. bumper-wise, window-wise. Side skirts. Side skirts look the same. Yeah, they've got the little indent under the driver's door. Indent under the driver's door. And the front bumpers are the same. So just different hood, really. But they tooled a whole different casting for that, which I think is kind of cool. Roof racks, again, are plastic. And yeah, super cool. I like the turbo like a lot better looking. Just all black with the 5 spokes. And there's the suspension. It's really nice in the rear there. And just for reference, you know, the Forester is technically the first crossover. And for reference, we can bring out the Legacy here to show you the difference between a crossover and a wagon, the real difference between a crossover and a wagon. You can see how the Forester's got a bigger greenhouse than the Legacy does. And something cool about the older Legacies, I don't remember if the North American ones had this or not, but they had like the bump out for the roof, for the extended roof. Actually, North American ones did. I think that was for sunroof models only. The regular ones just had a flat roof. So there's also that. But yeah, it's definitely smaller than the Forester in terms of height. And for length, try to get them lined up decently. If we put them mirror to mirror, you can see the Forester is just shorter in the front and the rear, and it's also skinnier than the Legacy. Kind of. Well, it's almost like the cabin is skinnier, but the Forester's just wider because it's got rounder fenders. But it's like, this is a true crossover. This, the original RAV4, the original CR-V, maybe is borderline. You could even argue the original Highlander are like true crossovers, because now the Forester is just pretty big. I mean, here, the Subaru Promo model is true 164, so this should supposedly compare well to the new Forester, or the TLV Forester. It's not the same car anymore. And it's funny that the older Forester, while having a smaller front end here, it's almost the same height. It's just like the new one just got bulky. And it's weird because it's not that much bigger. If we put them kind of like window to window for cabin, the side windows almost match up. The front window matches up. It's just the rear end's a little thicker and the front end is definitely thicker. It's got a bigger cowl area. You know, all safety stuff, I'd assume. But arguably, when my generation came out of Forester, even though they classified it as a wagon, which is even more backwards because it's supposed to be a crossover. It's the size of an SUV, and they classify it as a wagon. But yeah, I mean, this is supposedly true 164 scale too. This is a 3D print from my friend Chris, but I have Hot Wheels or Matchbox wheels on here, which are not to scale, so this doesn't count. And he's probably mad at me because I haven't actually got proper wheels on this. Every time I show it, I have different wheels on there, but it's kind of hard because it's kind of hard to find something to fit because all the wheels that I want to use don't fit. like these, I mean, I wouldn't specifically use these. I mean, I would have to secure them, but they're too big. And of course, it sits too high anyway. I want to use like the Nissan hardbody wheels from Matchbox on it. Anyway, let's go through the Forester generations. First gen, which I want to say lasted to 03 or 04, somewhere around there. I think 04, because 05 is when, no, the facelift was in 7, so I think second gen came out in 03. Oh, no, 04, sorry, 04. So 03 to 04, it's your first and second gen. There isn't a second gen post facelift in 164 though. The only other one is the Konami, but it's a pre facelift like the Hot Wheels one. So yeah, your first gen, you got your 2 second gens. third gen doesn't exist in 164 other than my 3D print here, of course, of kind of my old car mixed with my new car. My old one was an X, but this body is an XT, which is my new car. And of course, I painted this back when I had my old car, so it's black like my old car, and it's got the clear headlights like my old car had, which I still have and will put in the white one, but I haven't done any of that yet. So first 3 generations. Second gen lasted until 08, and in 09, well, actually, this gen was revealed in 08, put on sale as an 08 in Japan, but then came to the US as an 09. Lasted until 13 here in the US, but in Japan you could still buy them brand new until the end of 2014. When the previous, okay, this is where it gets confusing. Yes, you could buy these brand new in Japan until 2014, probably as fleet vehicles. But in 2012, they launched the 4th gen early, so you could buy both generations simultaneously. And Australia was the same way. This gen came out in Australia in 2012. I don't think you could buy this gen, though, at the same time. I don't know the logistics there, though. A little cloudy. But I know at least here in America, I know indefinitely, the 3rd gen ended in 13, and the 4th gen came in 14. And this was the first generation to use a CVT transmission, and it was also the first generation to not be based on the Impreza, which was the whole point of the crossover thing, to have the maneuverability of a car, but the space of an SUV. And the 1st gen did that well, 2nd gen did that well, 3rd gen wasn't really car maneuverability. It had some top-heavy issues, which I always think is a cool story, how the first 2 generations did not need warning stickers on the headliner to say that the car might roll over, while the 3rd gen did. So 4th gen, it became its own car technically, still shared some things with the Impreza, especially in the interior, but it wasn't like built completely on the Impreza platform anymore, because at this time the Crosstrek came out in 2013, and that took over as the Crosstrek might actually be more of a crossover than the Forester is now after the 3rd gen. So there was a facelift in when did it get facelifted? It had like a minor facelift in like 16, where it got the LED headlights. And also, to go along with it, there was a turbo version. This is the Tomica. This is the Subaru Promo model. The turbo versions had, instead of a hood scoop, they had these intakes next to the fog lights. So, just a little bit of a different front end there. The grille ended up being smaller, because they added whatever that was to the front there. But yeah, I do like the look of the turbos. The turbos were mostly the same. They didn't really get the facelift like the non-turbos did. I don't even know. I think the turbo models might have already had LED headlights back in 2014. While these got them in 2016. Then in 2018, the 5th generation came out, which was the current generation until this year, where the 6th gen came out, which hasn't been done in 164 yet. But Matchbox, Tomica, and the Subaru Promo brand has all done the 5th generation, which came out in 2018 and got a facelift 22, 21, somewhere around there, which is where they added they added the Wilderness trim when the facelift came out, which is awesome, and I need a diecast version, and the fact that there isn't one kills me. But yeah, so these are all pre-facelifts. Of course, the facelift added that stupid little notch next to the grille here where the headlight is. It kind of grew on me, I'll be honest, but I think it's still stupid. I do like the tail lights of the 5th gens, though. I think it's a cool look to have that little indent there. This one, of course, is the Sport version, which isn't really more than an appearance package. Kind of replaced the XT, but it's not the same as the XT because the XT was turboed. And it's weird because the Legacy and the Outback still get the XT offerings here in the US, but the Forester doesn't. I guess that's because they're trying to make the Legacy more luxurious, and because the Outback's built on the same platform, that just reaps the benefits of their attempts at making the Legacy something more than a Camry fighter. But I don't think it's gonna. Well, we know it's not gonna go any more than that, because after 2025, you won't be able to buy a Legacy anymore. Quite unfortunate. But there we go. We're yapping about Foresters. Love the Forester. I love mine, and probably, as long as I can tell, I might always daily one. Of course, there's so many more cars that I would rather have, but just in terms of practicality, and I like my third gens. They're decently reliable. They have their spark plug issues. They're before the massive head gasket issues. They're still boxer engines. You still gotta watch the head gaskets, but they're not nowhere near where they were or where they went with those issues. Probably the better gen. But anyway, there you guys have it. Love Foresters and diecast, and actually most of these I had before I even owned one anyway. The Matchbox and the Tomica ones. Well, not this Tomica one specifically, because this one's brand new. It's from the sign set, by the way, and so is the red one over there. But the older versions. Yeah, that's all I got for you guys. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. See you on the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye for now.